Greetings, my fellow servants of the God Emperor. It is the Ash Heritor. Welcome back to Rogue Trader Void Shadows. So, here we are in the chapel. Everybody is dead, except for the people that are alive. They're doing okay, but these ones here on the ground that all seem to have succumbed to spontaneous sudden death while drinking cherry juice. Yeah, it's a real shame that happens. Generous Danrock, he's injured, but okay. So, as you may notice, there's a big patch drop today, the day of recording, and it changed up a couple things. From what I understand, and I don't have the full patch notes, maybe watch Mortisimal Games review on it or something, if you want that, but it increased the difficulty of plenty of encounters, plenty of enemy types. It added a lot more weapons to the weapon pool, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about both things, actually. Certain enemies being harder is not a bad thing. And also excitingly, it's changed up the character models of Kibellah, Argenta, Abelard, and Heinrichs, who we don't have, but we'll take a look at Kibellah here. So, can I guess we can just do it like so. Show helmet. Yeah, that does look more like her portrait than it did before. Her original character model looked quite a bit different. This looks a lot better. Still crazy. And Argenta, her hair is white, like properly white. Aside from that, I don't notice much of a difference, I'll admit. And then Abelard here. Yep, still looks the same now. Good. He's got a bit of a beard. Nice. Yeah, he looks suitably scarred also. So cool. Dig it. Don't think they changed anybody else. No, she looks the same. Pascal, yeah, looks the same. And I don't think they would change up the base character. No. Okay. That's all. As for the rest, we'll see that when we see it. So, I guess we're going to come up here and talk to the High Factotum, if we can. The Master-at-Arms is barking orders. Confessor Adalbert is murmuring a prayer, and the Infernus Master is circling the chapel with keen eye as if watching for a threat. Kibellah quickly sweeps her gaze over the destruction before focusing on the bloody footprints that stretch from the ruins of the reliquary. The High Factotum's velvet coat is streaked with blood, and Janrus himself is deathly pale. A Medicae officer is working on the black gunshot wound in his chest, and Janrus grunts faintly with every touch. He focuses his eyes on you with tremendous effort. Forgive me for not greeting your ladyship with a bow. I must tell you, Nemesite has stolen the great relic. How badly is the High Factotum wounded? He's losing a lot of blood. The Medicae officer casts a worried look at you. I advise you to hurry. Master Danrock should be on the chirurgeon's table as soon as possible. I am holding on, your ladyship. Worry not. What matters now is that you recover the relic. The Factotum groans as the Medicae officer pulls the blood-soaked bandage aside and shakes his head dolefully. Some miracle preserved Master Danrock's life. Long enough that he might address you. His fate now rests in the hands of the Emperor. May he show mercy to this selfless man. Thanks, Adalbert. Janrus, what happened here? Serfs in red headscarves burst into the chapel and started shooting. Their leader made for the relic. The remains of honorable rogue traders brought here from the mutant sullied crypt. And when I realized that the sacred ashes of your ancestors were about to fall into the filthy hands of a heretic, one intent on desecrating the glorious dynasty. No, that could not be allowed to happen. I blocked his path. Janrus briefly closes his eyes, gathering his strength. The bastard allowed himself a few vile insults against me, which I am obliged to admit. But I did not give in to the provocation. I was hoping to buy myself some time. Then, this so-called Nemesite started reviling the customs of the ship, berating its officers and enforcers before insulting the very name of your ladyship yourself. I threw my glove in his face and demanded a duel, but the honorless villain just shot me. He laughed at me, the depraved creature. He winces, either from a new burst of pain or from the memory of the humiliation he so recently endured. All right. Then he committed sacrilege by stealing the relic and shattering the sarcophagus. Forgive me, your ladyship, I have failed to preserve the sacred ashes of your ancestors. I don't know if time is of the essence here, but we're gonna pretend like it is. Hold on, Janris. I will not let you die here. I'm proud to serve the dynasty. Janris's thoughts are becoming muddled. The papers, your ladyship. Have the clerk double-check the freight bills. I did not have time to get the seals. My will is in the left-hand drawer. Heinrich, did you see the attacks? I did not. I was on my way to offer prayer when I heard gunfire and ran as fast as I could. When I got here, I saw Master Danrock, and I think the next thing I did was just to press his wound and spout curses. Heinrich looks at his bloodied hands in confusion. So much for being a heroic repairman. I wasn't much use, was I? Well, you tried. Damn you, Jocasta. How did the renegades manage to sneak all the way to the upper decks? Yeah, she's really not doing her job well. Sourback mutters through clenched teeth. They had help. We've discovered the hidden corpses of several chapel attendants. The traitors took their clothes and led Nemesite and his accomplices straight past the patrols. Confessor Adalbert ruefully shakes his head. They were good people. Pious people. They never slighted a serf in their lives. Why punish them? His face grows darker. I swear that these innocents will be avenged. May the Emperor be my witness. I will strangle this Nemesite with my own 2 hands. May the Emperor protect your... The factotum's eyes roll back as his enormous frame gives a convulsive shudder. Well, the Medicae officer snatches a syringe of stimulant and speaks decisively. Apologies, your ladyship, but we are taking Master Danrock away. He's unable to tell you anything more at present, and every second of delay could cost him his life. Do it. All right. Hopefully that'll save him. All things considered, I do like Janris Danrock. He's a bit of a... Is he like a sleazy? No, not really, actually. He's fine. He's actually, he's fine. He's a bit of the, high tastes aristocrat type. But, thus far he's been pretty all right. Heinrich watches the limp body of the factotum get carried away and chews grimly on the low stick that has appeared between his teeth. So, what do we have so far? Master Danrock is on his deathbed. All the attackers are either dead or have absconded with the sacred relic, and the witnesses all agree on this one thing. Nemesite and his accomplices came out of nowhere and struck suddenly. Only the throne knows where we can find these bastards now. We will find them. Sourback's voice is full of terrible fury. We will turn this vessel inside out if we must. There is nowhere even a void rat can... There is no need. The blood's whisper will lead us to Nemesite. Kibellah's words make the two exchanged puzzled glances. The blood's whisper? Did you perform another divination? Yes and no. His tarot guided me here and told me of the evil that lurked in the shrine. But beyond that, the bloody path carelessly tread by the raiders will reveal the truth. With all due respect, Spinner, the enforcers have already questioned all the witnesses and compiled an extensive list of evidence, none of which tells us anything about how and where the troublemaker calling himself Nemesite might have escaped to. Yeah, this is why we're trying something else, Jocasta. If your enforcers can't fucking do it, we need other solutions. I was not going to say this. I didn't feel like antagonizing Jocasta even further, but, if she's going to make a problem out of it, then I'm going to say something. Jocasta, it seems to me that your enforcers could learn much from these death cultists, so shut up. Adding that with my own dialogue. Undoubtedly, Lord Captain. She presses her lips into a thin line. Perhaps the Servant of Death will share her insights, so that we all might understand what happened here, and what we should do next. Yes, Kibellah, tell us everything. Kibellah sharply turns to face the crimson splashes on the floor and walls of the shrine. Her pupils dilate, threatening to drown her irises in darkness. Her expression turns distant, her voice becoming low and strange. This is a little bit psychery, not gonna lie. This blood is drawn in a pattern of retribution. The one who spilt it appeared later. They moved swiftly and furiously, numb to their own wounds. An enforcer who was drawn to the gunfire had witnessed the sacrilege? Probably. As for this pattern, Kibellah points to a barely visible chain of scarlet droplets. It was made in fury and desperation. The one who left it was wounded, but they did not flee. They fought back while they could, and then they retreated into the darkness. Kibellah's eyes close, and she falls silent. Then she exhales sharply and points a steel claw into the darkness of the maintenance tunnels hidden within the walls of the shrine. You gleaned all that from a couple of bloodstains, or did you have a vision? There's no need for revelations from the Undying Emperor here. For one who has dedicated their life to understanding the tenets of the web, death speaks a language clearer than any words. Blood writes the chronicle of the final hour, and it holds all the answers. It speaks to me. It can tell me with what instrument it was spilt, what its owner felt, whether they struggled in terror or were as cold as the steel of a blade, at what moment and how the thread snapped. For a spinner, no two wounds are alike, and each scarlet drop carries a message from the Undying One. That's pretty cool. So this is just like, yeah, literally seeing how the splatter of the various, wounds fell. I can tell you, I reckon that's probably something that's actually possible to learn how to do. I mean, God's forbid you're ever in a situation where you see enough of that to learn how that happens. Also, specifically, this needs to be edged weapons, I think. Not necessarily, actually, but no, probably not. But there would need to be clear blood, so I guess it wouldn't work outdoors where the blood would seep into the soil. Then again, she's been on the ship her entire life, so it kind of makes sense that she would learn it this way. It's pretty interesting. I'm glad she's on our side. Heinrich scratches the back of his neck, smiling wryly. Yeah. If the attackers have escaped through the maintenance tunnels, we can send the enforcers after them. The technical corridors extend hundreds of meters in different directions. Nemesite and his men must be familiar with the tunnels and possess either a map or a guide. Without a clear trail, the enforcers risk getting lost and wasting valuable time. Not to mention the fact that those narrow tunnels are perfect for an ambush. So, we still have no idea where to find Nemesite. The tunnels only answer the question of how he left. Now death will tell us where he was heading. Oh, is that so? As if in a trance, Kibellah leans over a body and peers into its eyes. He stinks of smoke. The smoke of singed coveralls, vile low sticks, burnt sacred unguents, and charred meat. She slides a pale hand across the dead man's skin and snakes it under the sleeve of his coveralls, which she pushes back to reveal a fresh burn, bandaged with a torn scrap of shirt. Her steel claws dig into the dead man's arm. Your wounds hold the answer. You dressed it carefully, not inside the shrine. Before that, something struck you, ripped the tissue apart, burned you, turned your hand into a worthless lump. It will not fire, no. Drawing a ragged breath, Kibellah opens her eyes. The fury of the conductive charge. It has marked you, heretic. I recognize your wound, for I myself have encountered it on those I take to the other side within the plasma drive chambers. I'm not even going to ask if she's certain. That's going to be a definitely. She's not the type that speaks without certainty. Stay back, gather the enforcers. We will follow Nemesite's trail. No, Domin Cyrene. You must stay. You are the one that Nemesite has challenged, and those we hunt know you by sight. You will frighten away the prey, and we will lose the trail until the next tragedy occurs. Kibellah's unblinking gaze meets her own. So, what do you suggest we do, Kibellah? I will go to the plasma drive chambers alone. I will track down the false champion and all who serve him.
I will prepare the grounds for your own hunt.
I see.
Out of the question. An enforcer squad would certainly scare off the vermin, but I'm not letting you go alone, servant of death. You and I will go to the chambers together, and together we will bring down all who have dared to insult the Lord Captain.
Why? Because you want to protect Kibellah, or because you want to redeem yourself? I don't think Kibellah needs protection. Pretty sure she can handle herself just fine. I'm going too. I have a couple of good friends in the plasma drive chambers. The nosy kind who know everything about everyone. Convincing them shouldn't be difficult, especially if I pull a few favors. It'll be the three of us then. What a company. Heinrich's grim laughter echoes inside the shrine. Okay, I see. There's an awkward pause. Kibellah takes a long look at the officers' faces before finally nodding her assent.
So be it, but not like this. Much like your faces, your guises are too inconspicuous.
Kibellah is right. It would be prudent to use a disguise.
The enforcers will procure regular work clothes for us. We will carry only inconspicuous weapons that we can hide easily in our tool bags. It will help us blend in with the crowd. Before I depart to hunt for Nemesite, I ask the Domin to bless me. I pledged never to leave your side, yet the hunt demands that I do just that. Grant me this permission by performing the ceremony of twinning.
Kibellah nods towards the altar, or twining, I think. Damn, it could be either. Like, twinning, you know, because she is my shadow, we are two, or twining. Normally, it wouldn't make any sense in this situation, but blood-spun web, twines, spools, all has to do with, you know, yarn, or in this case, silk threads. I think it's twining. I think twinning is with two ends also.
When your people have taken their leave, under the gaze of the Undying One, we will begin the rite.
What is this ceremony?
The rite of blessing for the sacred hunt. With it, the Domin casts their shadow over the path of carnage. Under your benediction, I will strike harder and tread more softly.
Very well, let the ceremony commence.
With your permission, Lord Captain, the Infernus Master and I will take our leave now and set out to prepare for the descent into the chambers.
We dare not intrude, your ladyship. Good. Alright. The hunt for Nemesite. No, we're just doing it here. I mean, it is a chapel shrine. Where'd the blood go?
Sit down now, Domin Cyrene, and listen. Let the ceremony of twining begin.
Using a finely honed blade, Kibellah carves an intricate symbol into the floor. She then procures a small bundle of wrapped incense laid in parchment and sets it alight. Okay, thus far pretty tame.
You are my Domin, I am your blade, and I am honed by your blessing. My arms are strong, while your will is strong. As long as the Undying One hears your prayers, my feet will go unheard.
Her blade kisses her palm, and dark blood begins to trickle and spread over the bottom of the ritual cup that has just now appeared in her hands. So you're just carrying all this stuff around, are you?
With our blood, with our will, we shall spin a scarlet web, the symbol of the hunt. May it herald our prey's demise.
Ooh, I like what's going on with the sound and the red haze. This is very Psyker-y still. Or it's just, there's like hallucinogens involved. I don't know. Kibellah puts the dagger into your hand, and you suddenly feel how heavy your eyelids have become. Your heartbeat slows inside your chest. Her words linger, then rush through your mind in a deluge. The heavy scent of incense envelops you and makes your head spin. I'm not going to ask any of these things. Doesn't feel right for the occasion, and besides, we've been officially inducted. We need to act the part. Make a small cut on my palm. The pain gives way to a burning sensation as Kibellah grasps your hand and squeezes it over the ritual cup. But this new discomfort is quickly replaced again, this time by a dull numbness, and the faint warmth of blood flowing from your open wound.
The twining is the blood oath I have made to my lady.
Kibellah dips her fingers in the spilt blood and traces a symbol, first on her own forehead, then on yours. It appears to resemble a blade that is cutting through an intricate knot. That's pretty cool. Love the symbology that the blood-spun web is using.
Anoint me with your blessing, Domin Cyrene von Valancius, and may the ceremony of twining commence. Kibellah's face blurs before your eyes. No matter how hard you try to focus and dispel the vision, in place of her face, you see a death mask, a broken skull with hollow eye sockets. We're not going to doubt her loyalty here. We don't need to reinforce that. Be merciful. Those whom you hunt may be victims themselves. We've already discussed that with her. I think she's going to follow through. May your fury and resolve be unshakable. One who follows the thread of the web fights not out of rage, but a mind as cold as stone. Nevertheless, rage can become a potent weapon in the hands of a punisher. I understand, Domin Cyrene. I accept your blessing.
I wonder how much the choice of blessing we gave her is going to actually matter.
Kibellah thinks for a moment. Your body cannot accompany us on this chase, Domin, but your spirit. There is nothing the spirit cannot do. The twining is complete. You and I are now bound by blood oath. Think of me while I hunt, as I will think of you. Become a thought flowing through my mind. If the Undying One is gracious to us, he will send you dreams, and in those dreams you will see me. If he is more gracious still, those dreams will be truthful. I trust you, Kibellah. Let us begin.
You perceive a faint smile from beneath the death mask. Kibellah hands you the cup and begins tracing her finger around the bottom while whispering a prayer.
Watch now, Domin Cyrene von Valancius. What does thy seeing eye behold in the converging patterns of blood?
She draws your attention to the symbols she has inscribed. You see shifting images in the blood, a spider crafting a fine web, blurred shadows that could resemble either a swarm of void rats or an enraged hound, crossing blades, a card of the Emperor's Tarot. But as soon as your gaze lingers on any of them, reality bleeds through the fluid shapes.
Soon your spirit will be able to follow me. I will bid the servants to carry your body to your chambers, where you will not be disturbed. Wait in silence and safety. For me, the hunt has begun.
Okay. Kibellah's footsteps fade away, melting into the same impenetrable darkness in which your consciousness is extinguished. So, how's this going to work? Like, what are we actually going to be doing here? This is probably going to be one of those narrative events. The ones that the text-based events. Jesus, what did I just say? The text-based events. Christ on a bicycle. No? Okay. Stale air, oppressive noise. The hum and whir of machinery drown out all thoughts. This place rings with tension. Is it the powerful energy coursing through the cables, or have the wails of the workers merged into a cacophony of indignant whispers and desperate prayers? Lost, mired in petty troubles, unmindful of their duty, their voices creak as if covered in rust, and their eyes are dimmed by the endless drudgery and lack of light here on the working decks of the Domin's great ark. I have seen it before. In these murky depths, people become creatures all too ready to devour each other for worldly gains, fleeting pleasures or imaginary freedom from obligation born from the abyss of spiritual emptiness. The Undying One punishes them through me. Disgusting mutations, abominations, reflections of vice are born in these shadows, and I will be their doom. The thread shakes, the web is taut. I step silently. May the great hunt begin. The thread shakes. The quarry always leaves a trail. We may not see it, but we can feel it. I taste the air, the scent of fresh dye with a subtle note of sparks. This is new, pleasant. The upper decks reek of luxury, but here I feel comfortable. There is something else. This is it. I recognize the smell. Unguent, low and burnt meat. Just like inside the shrine, the time has come to spin the scarlet web. The web is taut. Know the hunting ground. This is pretty cool. I don't know what's going on, but it's it's different. That's for sure.
To find the enemy, I must listen. Inhale, exhale, inhale. The rhythmic beat of engines and pumps, that is the ship's breathing. That is the ship's heartbeat. It is strange that I feel at home among the workers of the lower decks, who pass their time like the living dead.
Oh, is it strange? Yeah.
Warmth spreads through my chest. I like to think that it is the connection with the Undying One, with which the Undying One bound my and the Domin's fates together. He has blessed us, and we hunt as one. I step silently. Darkness is our ally, merged with the shadows. In the twilight of the chamber, barely illuminated by flickering candlelight, I become like them, the lost, mired servants. They will become unwitting allies in my hunt. Their hopelessness, their desperation, their thirst for survival will become tools for my use. Where's the second spinner? We were supposed to meet here.
You know that feeling when you're being stared at, but you can't tell who by or where from? Damn it. Can't see it.
Footsteps. Two are coming. Towards me. Familiar gaits. Those are the Domin's servants. I would not be surprised if the cultists set out on the trail of Nemesite alone. Spinners are arrogant. We are just another soul to them, a gift to offer death. Steel Mistress's voice is hard and cold, like her will. I can see in her eyes that she dislikes me. She is wary, and so she should be, for we serve the Domin, not one another.
Yeah, you can actually see more of the art here. I haven't been using this at all. It looks pretty cool. Does this remind you of anyone at all, Jocasta?
This man is enamored with fire. Even his words sound full of biting flames, and he himself enjoys playing with fire. Too much so. They bicker again. Their mutual animosity may disrupt the hunt.
Right, he's got his, it's a welding torch that he's lighting a cigarette with. Love it.
Examine Steel Mistress in flaming voice. To the lay people, the two are now scarcely indistinguishable from the common serfs. In a world where status and privilege are defined by appearance, a single piece of rotten cloth is enough to lower your standing. We will become spectral hounds and follow the trail without drawing attention.
And let's step forward.
I am here.
Flaming. This is cool. We're actually getting Kibellah's names for them. She's naming everybody else by a title. Flaming Voice, and what was the other one? Steel Mistress. And then we are the Domin.
There she is. Welcome to the plasma drive chambers, esteemed holy assassin. You can exchange pleasantries later. Lieutenant Gaudiera is on duty in this compartment. I have ordered her to gather information on all the workers who wear red scarves and who have recently left the bay. This is pointless. The red scarf is not proof of guilt. It is merely a symbol. It could be a trap. I need to find her. I will watch the Enforcer and those who are watching her in turn.
Your Enforcer knows nothing about life in this compartment. I guarantee it. I have a better source of information. A good friend of mine who knows a lot about delicate matters. It would be easy to get him to talk. He's terrified of pain and death.
Only the faithless fear death. I will not trust him. Let him trust me so that his trust may become a snare for my hunt.
Okay.
I cut them off with a gesture. Their methods of hunting are not mine. But I take the grain of truth from their words and weave it into my plan. We need to provoke them into making a move. Instill a false sense of impunity. Convince them that they can and must act now. The enforcer who answers to Steel Mistress is the symbol of order and obedience in these chambers. She is standing in the way. When she disappears, my enemies will believe it is safe to strike, and that will be a costly mistake.
Okay, so we can do all of them. I thought that would be a choice.
We intimidate them with an impending threat. Flaming Voice relies on a talker, one who keeps no secrets and fears pain. An unreliable vessel is bad for holding secrets, but good for spilling them. Through him I will whisper lies to the enemy, and strike out the spark that will ignite the flame. I feel them lurking in the crowd, my enemies. They are cautious. I must find them and let them believe their luck. Then they will shed their masks, and I will take them down. Such is my plan. They look at me in silence. They do not understand yet, but that matters little. I am on the hunt.
The web beckons.
Okay. We actually just control Kibellah here. This is interesting. Technomat. Oh yeah. Death Cultist. I knew I should have switched shifts today. What were you saying? Lay people interfering in the operation of the sacred mechanisms disturbs the machine spirits. In the name of the Omnissiah, please refrain from any further profane acts. Glory to the Omnissiah, giver of knowledge. May the sacred unguent soothe thine articulations. It was a whip. An old burn spread across her body in a scarlet blotch. A look of contempt. A heavy baton covered in blood and symbolizing boundless power. Like a fierce leather whip, she lashes with both her hand and her gaze. What are you looking at, you beggars? You finish your shift, you go to the barracks. You start your shift, you check in with the foreman and get to work before Matilda comes to pat you on the back. And Matilda, I presume, is that wonderful, not at all intimidating baton on your belt? I guess our disguise is working. But I would rather not spend the next few watches in the med bay because of a misunderstanding. His breathing is quickened. Flaming Voice always makes jests when he is nervous or irritated. Do enforcers infuriate him? The Infernus Master! Master-at-Arms, apologies for not recognizing you, ma'am. Godiarda, we are conducting an inquest. Answer the spinner's questions. I hope your report will be useful. I wish she had better awareness. Nothing is unimportant during the hunt. Tell me what you know and I will listen. A group of workers wearing red scarves were seen in the compartment just after the attack on the shrine. The foreman states that they were at work on the freight line. No gunpowder on their clothes, no fresh wounds. Too many of them have started wearing red masks, and it muddles the trail. But we found some red scarves and bloody rags in one of the shredders only shortly afterwards. We sealed off the exits and reduced the air supply to the maintenance tunnels to the absolute minimum. Now they can't stay there longer than a few minutes without passing out. There's no way the bastards could have left the plasma chambers. They are definitely in here somewhere. Like snakes, the servants of Nemesite have shed their skin. The red scarf is just a distraction. Let's let the enforcers converse. I will keep an eye on those around us. The workers hide their eyes, but I can hear murmurs echoing through the bay. There is an impotent rage in their hearts directed at Whip, for she is the embodiment of the very order they despise. But why do they not realize that the enforcer is a shield as much as a lash? Some of the people I escorted to the other side looked at me the same way. In the past, I did not understand. But now, do the lay people see spinners performing their duty to the Undying One, or enforcers performing theirs to the Domin as monsters? Do I sense the touch of his will? The Undying Emperor wishes to bestow a revelation upon me in this trying hour. Let his tarot show me the way. I breathe in essence, made from the ashes and blood of the faithful. It enlightens the mind, granting it the grace of reading his signs. A wave of epiphany sweeps my thoughts away, pulling me into a blessed trance. My fingers move of their own accord over the sacred deck and draw a card. It is the Martyr. I see a tear of blood wash over the pale features in the image, and they shift, becoming Whip's face. Whip has to die.
Godierda. A portent from him, the Undying One blesses me to take whip. The minions of Nemesite fear her. When her soul is delivered to the Undying One, the traitors will feel invulnerable. They will crawl out of their holes and fall into my web. The Domin forbade the spinners to cut the threads of her subjects. I will have to go against the will of my lady to protect her and the Ark, and if punishment follows, I am ready to accept it. My duty to the Domin comes before my life. Let's try this. Whip, what can your scars reveal to me? Day after day, she watches the serfs labor away, exhausting their last vestiges of strength, and there is no compassion in her eyes. They are simply a resource she is commanded to use and then discard. She hates them because she blames them for her pain, her wounds. Okay. I know how Whip's thread will end. I cannot sever Whip's thread with a blade, for the serfs would recognize me as one of the spinners and lose all courage. But the spark of the machine spirits in the plasma drive chambers has already claimed the lives of many. I will use this, and thus the web will be spun.
No sleep,
So we got
no rest.
Fryer,
Duty.
a reservoir of technical fluid. If it leaks, the power of the conductive charge will spread imperceptibly across the floor. All right. Carry out the will of the Undying One. What about this? Turn the servitor. Okay. With a pitiful clanking sound, the servitor's claws docks with the mechanism and begins to perform the necessary manipulations. Okay, I'm not sure what that's supposed to do. So, hold on. Where'd Whip go? There. Is she gonna come back? Do we need to, like, time it? And then fry her? I guess we'll do that. Move up to here so that we can reach it. Wait for her to walk across this water. This is interesting. This is very different from anything else we've done. Okay, that takes a little while. Wait, observe, prepare. She sees you. The moment has not yet come. Okay, now it's good.
With me.
So now we wait for her to come back, and ideally not walk on that. It's a bit of interesting skullduggery. Like, we haven't done anything like this. What's up with turning the servitor? Oh, we can turn this one as well. Okay, why though? With a pitiful clanking sound, the servitor's claws lock with the mechanism and begin to perform the necessary manipulations. Not really sure what that's going to do. Where's Whip? Is that her? No, that's a reactor attendant. Don't think we... Oh, there she is. What's she doing? You gonna come around? Okay, she died over there. That's a little weird. Instill a sense of impunity in the traitors by removing the deck.
Another step, another thread.
Okay, whatever.
Damn it. Why did it have to be Godierda? I don't know why the Emperor ordered you to kill her, but we must see to it that she did not die in vain. Just like that, she's gone. She will never even know what she died for. Meanwhile, the spinners go on passing whatever judgment they please. So we can call it cargo lift, and we can turn another servitor here. We need to turn it that way? Yeah, alright. Hold on. We probably can't call the cargo lift. Hey, where's Halb? Too much rot got before the shift again. Or Halb's a traitor. No, he didn't listen to the briefing and stuck his hand in the reactor. Now how the machine spirits didn't kill him instantly, I have no idea.
Follow the threads.
So he's still in the infirmary?
This might be relevant.
No, Tech Priest Delta sent him over for servitorization. Maybe he'll do some actual work now.
Christ. Also, you look like a gene stealer cultist. Right? Sure looks like one. I know that the gene stealer cultists, what they actually look like is just
My visions showed this path.
like mine and like machine operators. Okay. Guess that didn't work. That servitor's there. That one's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not going to walk that way. That seems like a bad idea. I don't want to take any injuries right now. This didn't work, whatever it was. What, can we talk to the engine seer? No. Reactor attendant? Okay, so they clearly are aware of the death cultists. Okay, so there's a guy named Stain right there. I'm going to quickly look for other servitors, though.
Only duty, only death.
Before we talk to him. Infernus emergency repair worker. I'm not going to read out all of the little things here. What's this? Become a shadow and heed the voice of the crowd. Let's actually quickly do that. The lay people have huddled together like a herd being chased by predators. Faded gazes, bent backs, and the crimson kisses of batons on their bodies. And yet, shadows of smiles touch their dirty, burnt lips as a strange pair, like a hammer and anvil, sends sparks into the air with their words. What are those two talking about, hammer and anvil? And then the lever smacked you right in the kisser. Ha! Give or take a tooth, this is nothing. Bruises, burns, cuts, that's just life. Just remind yourselves, this was also a hammer, just remind yourselves how you come home after your shift, having exchanged your ration card for a bowl of soup. How your little ones gulp that bowl down, how they fall asleep feeling a little better. I say that's worth a hard day's work, and the punch in the face. He smiles, broad-shouldered, with a rusty beard. He is not afraid to share laughter with others, and so the crimson shades from the beatings never leave his face. His voice is bright and sonorous, and listened to. And an anvil. Not everyone here is as chipper and thick-skinned as you. A bowl of soup is great, he says, but what about having to choose which of your 3 kids gets it? Is that great too? Beatings are nothing, he says. Remember when the enforcers broke your arm? Since you couldn't work, your wife had to pull 3 shifts. She collapsed at the lathe, and the conductive charge burned out her eyes. None of us deserve that. Tough and unyielding, every word hurts, but she is forgiven for her sincerity. They listen to her to pull themselves together, to share their common pain. Let's see if anyone has fallen into my web. You heard the news. The lieutenant's got it. Fried on the wires. A brutal end for a brutal woman. That's called justice. For every broken bone, for every gob spit in our faces, good bloody riddance. Yes, just as long as they don't pin her death on any of us. The frightened herd sways, humming with whispers. In their eyes, the fires of anxiety flicker. Careless, suggestible people. I'll come back later. Not all of the snares have been set. Yeah, more for us to do. But that's cool. I guess that's where we complete our thing. So there's still Stain. That's probably going to be the guy that we need to talk to for Einrich's part of this. Let's quickly look around. Oh, we got loot. I'm going to loot my own ship.
What others do not.
Oh, even more. What do we hear? Some stuff. And some more stuff. Wonderful. Looking for people that are named. Gudierda's dead. Ha! Something to celebrate until they assign a new forcer. Okay.
Follow my steps.
And here's Whip. What's she got for us? A shock baton. Unsurprising. Well, that seems to be everything. Is the electricity turned off? It is not. So I'm not sure we can walk through that without hurting ourselves. Can climb up here real quick. Let's talk to Stain. Oh, hold on, there's a clue here. The different, this guy said something.
Follow the threads.
So there's definitely a servitor that still needs to be turned. So that's going to do something with the cargo lift, and I'm not sure what. This one's like working, right? Now it's not. Okay. Sounds doing the right thing. This one is too. I think I'm just going to turn them all to make sure. Yep. Uh-huh. I didn't see any
Another
others.
step, another threat.
Let's give it one more try. No, it worked. Never mind. The question is, what did this do for us? It's raised the cargo lift, but there's nothing on the cargo lift. Now it's back down. We can send it to the... Hold on. This is a puzzle of some kind. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Let's try and turn one of the servitors and see if this does something.
Path, and many others.
Oh. Okay. Well, we got what we needed somehow. Tarnished Breacher's Aquila. Enemies within the wearer's area attack suffer minus 6% dodge, and allies within the wearer's area attack gain 6% dodge. Okay. Seems not that good. I'm going to throw that into cargo. Backpack with armor-piercing ammo. The wearer's ranged attacks inflict 3 levels of bleeding onto their targets. Okay, that's pretty good for Marazai. So we'll check that. I think he's got something better, but we'll see. Might be good. Talk to Stain. Long time no see, Spindle. Tell me, what does silence taste like?
Are they using a secret code? Without flaming voice, he would never even speak to me.
Everyone knows silence doesn't taste like anything. If you want to earn rations, you better start dealing in words.
He speaks casually, but his voice is slimy and slippery. His eyes are as dirty as an oil-stained garment. The impudence in his gaze and words when he turns them to us. He is unclean, and he knows it. He is unrepentant.
That's a funny look, Heinrich. And you have a funny-looking company. Are you here to sell or buy? And before you answer, remember the first rule. Every word has a price.
Are we bargaining for information with this lowlife now? It is the duty of every serf to aid the rogue trader and her associates, freely and willingly.
Jocasta? Oh boy, here it comes. Who's that with you? An enforcer? And a spinner? You want me dead? Anyone sees me talking to you, they'll snap my neck. So off you go.
The peddler of words is trembling in fear for his life. I must extract answers from him, but by what means?
Well, we could drug him. We can stare him down. Or we can try and persuade him. Let's drug him. The quelling stimulant on the needle's tip will loosen Stain's tongue. What's this feeling? So calm. It's fine. Ask whatever you want, but then leave. My reputation cost me a lot of blood, and I didn't earn it to have it trampled into dust because you people happened to stop by.
One glance is enough for me to see your true self, Stain. You are a liar and manipulator, peddling other people's secrets and not knowing how to keep your mouth shut. You will become the bait, sowing confusion among the minions of Nemesite, who hope to wait for the lockdown. Wait out the lockdown. They think they have enough time. I will deprive them of that confidence. Where do things stand in the plasma drive chambers? Speak briefly. Speak sense.
We just had an enforcer die. I swear she did it herself. Stepped right on the wire and riled up the machine spirits. You lot be careful now. There's a bunch of workers in the far corner who now gather between every shift, whispering to each other. They don't invite me. They say I talk too much. Well, if they're scared of my tongue, that means they have something to hide. And of course, everyone's talking about Nemesite. Sure, the foundry and the chapel were big, but he's been helping people all over. A lot of folks are sticking with him now. You can knock my teeth out if I'm lying. Don't got many of those left anyhow, but I'll tell you this, even if someone finds him, they won't rat him out.
There will be a raid soon. Be careful. I warn you in appreciation for your cooperative nature. What are you... That information is not meant for his ears.
Really? I see. Well, that's all you wanted. Then I can I go?
Go, Stain, and be my herald.
It is difficult to admit, but I do share the Master-at-Arms' indignation.
We came here to get information about the traitors, not to reveal our secrets. Reveal the truth to the enemy, and they will harm themselves with it.
I just hope the wisdom of the blood-spun web won't cost us. No, I think it's gonna be just fine. I think Kibellah knows what she's doing. So I think we can go back into here. Oh, we can... There's another place we can do this. It's probably the same. Maybe? I don't know. The lay people are huddled together in a pile of sweltering bodies, filthy and battered by the enforcers' batons, reeking of sweat and disease. Their hearts pump blood faster and faster through bulging veins as two of them send red-hot sparks into the air with their words like a hammer and anvil.
The plan appears to have worked, Spinner. The air itself is charged with something, and it is not the conductive charge. The serfs they are stirring.
I'm gonna listen to the rapid beating of hearts.
The lay people are frightened, angry. They feel the impunity that sprouted like a weed upon Whip's demise. They feel the threat crushing them from the upper decks, both imminent and inevitable.
Let's listen to Whip, or listen to Hammer and Anvil again.
I can hear their whispers, insidious and deafening. No longer do they laugh with the others. No longer do they pretend.
The Enforcer's dead.
Punishers from the upper decks will soon follow Nemesite's trail. And this is our chance. We need to act. This is it. I can sense that the prey is close. They have little fear of giving themselves away anymore. They need a spark to ignite the flames, something that will convince Nemesite's followers that they are strong, and that the Domin's servants are diminished.
Let's have one last look around.
I am your shadow.
Oh, there's goods here. Because there might be more. What's happening here with this engine seer? Go literally everywhere. Let's do a quick another pass over this. The enforcers are coming to butcher us.
Another thread.
Yeah, they're afraid. This is good, potentially. So again, I don't want to walk over that. Well, sure, it'll damage us, but I reckon it will. It certainly killed the whip. I'm not sure there's anything else to be done here, but I'll look around.
Follow my steps.
What over here? I don't know if we... Yeah, we did go here. There's nothing to be done here. That's... Another Infernus worker? Reactor attendants. Reactor attendants. Can't do anything with the servitors anymore, so... Guess that's good. Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's just head back. I'll step into the other site. One that's over here. But you can now do it there too. Hold on, I'm gonna do it right here. I guess this is it. Okay, the wariness and fear in the eyes of the lay people have been replaced with sullen light. Their faces no longer brighten with pale smiles. Their muscles are as tense as a beast ready to pounce. Their hearts pump blood faster and faster through bulging veins as the fiery words spoken by Hammer and Anvil seize in the air. Hold on, we didn't actually talk with Hammer and Anvil directly. That's because we can't. Okay. And let's wait for the right moment and light the spark.
They tell us this is how it's meant to be, just because they were born on the upper decks and we down below in the darkness. Is it really the God Emperor's will that they grow fat on the fruits of our labors, revel in luxury while we die without water or medicine? Hammer's voice rumbles, and the lay people listen. Their hands clench into fists. No matter how hard you work, they will wring everything out of you and give you nothing. Who allowed this to happen? The rogue traitor, her name be damned, a Grox on the throne, a tyrant throwing our bones into the furnace of our protectorate. Shut your mouth, void dog. Flaming voice. No, it is too soon. I understand your anger, but you must temper it. What did you say about the Lord Captain? The one who gives you work, food, and shelter, you insolent deadbeats. I can see why you have gathered here, and I will not let you start another rebellion. What are you reaching? Why are you reaching for your Voxcaster? If you do not disperse, I will give the order to vent the plasma chambers. You have 5 seconds. So he's fucking everything up. The tyrant's lackey! If you do this, you'll die with us, you madman! To protect the Lord Captain and the crew. I see you've never met an Infernus before. Their faces are twisted with fear. Will they retreat? Will they flee? Will the hunt be thwarted? No! I have to kill him. A small throwing blade flies out of my palm and draws a scarlet line across Anvil's neck. If I had wished it, she would be dead. But she continues to breathe and to bleed, and to scream furiously as she looks for me. The rogue trader's assassins are here! Look, they wanted to kill me! Find the assassins! The spark is lit. Alright, we have to take matters into our own hands. Oh shit, it's a crowd. The lay people press in from all sides, pushing and shoving. Their faces are ablaze with terror and rage, and a violent energy boils through the massive bodies. This power will be difficult to contain. Frightened people are dangerous people. The hunt was meant to go differently, but such is the Undying One's will. One voice rises above the others, the voice of a burly, bearded technomat, low as the roar of a furnace. Furnace smells of sweat and sacred unguents. He is not afraid. He merely pretends to be. Beneath the shudder of terror, I hear excitement. Man, that's this guy. Do we deserve to be executed, my brothers and sisters? Have we not labored with the sweat of our brow? Have we not perished from the outbursts of raging machines? Why do they call us rebels? Why are we being punished? Furnace's words make the crowd seethe even more. I'll take a closer look at him. Strong, heavy, enormous hands whose blows should be feared. A great belly that has become a symbol of his success. He does not starve, so those who follow him will not starve either. A powerful leader, recognized by the whole pack. Feel the flowing rage of these poor wretches. The flame burns nigh, for there is strong fuel at its heart. These people have amassed many grievances. The enforcers are cruel to them, for they believe that fear eradicates treason. The officers despise them, for their clothes and hands are filthy. The quartermasters rob them and withhold what is owed to them, for their clan is not strong enough to make demands. They are vulnerable. Their hearts are vulnerable. The Undying One commands us to spin a web to catch such hearts before they plunge into the abyss of treason, and so I am spinning the web. But there is something else mixed into their righteous indignation. Something that taunts them, excites them, angers them. It is something foul hovering in the air. Aberration. That's interesting. This riot is more than it seems. This is pretty cool. In the novel I'm writing, there's a scene very similar where there is a like a cult gathering. But it's also something more than it seems. There's a hidden force at work, masked in the activities of the gathering. It's cool to see something like that here. Think about Domin, or think about the Domin. Yeah. I turn my thoughts to her, for it is her people that are standing before me. What would she do, the one whose tread I anoint with my blood? Which of you is it that dared call the Lord Captain's judgment unfair? Okay, that's a very overt option.
Already you are rioters in everything but name. And then you ask why you should have been shown no trust. Yeah. You should be grateful for having been blessed with both toil and injury. Who would you be without them? Nothing but worthless rabble. No, we'll go with the middle one. Already you are rioters in everything but name, and then you ask why you have been shown no trust. My words frighten them, wound them, because they are just, and that makes their anger swell all the more. Why are you surprised? Have the officers ever treated us otherwise? A new voice, sandpaper rough, tears through the rumbles of the crowd. Its owner is ragged and filthy, and a feverish gleam burns in his eyes. His words inflame the people's minds, like rot feasting upon a wound. Rot cries out mockingly. That's because you're afraid of them, but they're not afraid of you. They have the almighty baton. All you have is the source of power that feeds the whole ship. Why would they take you for granted? It serves you right, you cowards! His ugly shriek spills like venom upon the sweating faces as they slowly draw closer and closer. Sense the smell hanging over the crowd. I take a deep breath, and something stupefying, noxious, and luscious disturbs my senses. This is no ordinary odor, but something subtle and foul. It carries the same stench as rot. Okay, some insiders in the crowd. They're actually maybe even using some sort of chemicals to inflame this. And rot is one of them. Interesting. Skinny and scrawny, Rot leers at me with his gaping mouth. He is a nobody who has nothing. His body has wasted away from disease. His hands are 5 fingers short. His fate is sealed, and that makes him convincing. Everyone knows he has nothing to gain for himself, and thus no reason to lie. His poverty is his armor. Turn my thoughts to the Domin. Address the one who commands these people and who possesses the authority to execute and pardon. Am I to hear her thoughts? What am I going to say here? I think I'm going to go with this. The Domin takes care of all, for such is her burden, but she cannot save everyone. She only cares about her flunkies. The bile spraying from Rot's mouth sizzles in the workers' minds like acid. It is burning them through. Rapier. We will not commit rebellion, but we will not allow ourselves to be slaughtered by villains either. The law and the Emperor are on our side. A young woman steps forth, slender and supple like a rapier. If they want to crush us with the fear of death, let them kill us. It will only prove our righteousness. The ringing call is a command, pressing itself into their hearts. The foul stench of sacrilege almost knocks me off my feet. I'm gonna look Rapier in the eye. She is fragile, but there is a strength in her, an authority taken for granted and understood by everyone. She is clearly ready to command, with legions willing to die for such maidens. Beautiful and resolute as they are, she carries no banner in her hand, for she herself is the banner. It's this one. That's Rot, and that's the new guy, the other guy. Interesting. Furnace. Sense the fetid stench of blasphemy. We have a 60% chance. Nice. The tantalizing elusive scent of rage. It is more than a stench. It is a tool, the weapon of the despicable trio, which they use to influence the minds of the laity, invisibly intoxicating their minds. Okay, so these three are Gene Stealer cultists, and they are inflaming the crowd. The crowd reeks of flowering treason. I delve down to its root and realize what it is that rejects his will so. His sacred privilege is being attacked. He alone chooses who may journey to him, but these three instigators, they are determined to make this decision for themselves, dragging the souls of all around them into the fires of violence with them. They are impudent upstarts who have put themselves above him, and above me, the second spinner of the blood-spun web, his chosen servant. The realization of such audacity burns my very soul. Okay, so Kibellah's getting angry. That is what we told her to do. Appeal to Domin Cyrene loudly and exigently. But the noise around me drowns out my own thoughts and stops me from focusing on her image. So I can strike? Do I want to do that? I don't really know, like, what the goal is here. We have to sort of get into Kibellah's mind. What are we trying to do exactly? We need them to strike, right? Death will claim you all, but not today, unless you are truly keen to meet its embrace. The crowd does not answer. They do not hear me. The sacred promise of death no longer moves them, for they have fallen under the enemy's spell. Okay. They surround me, threatening, pointing fingers, cursing. They dare not strike, not yet, but already their enormous bulk presses down upon me as the smell of blood in the air grows thicker by the minute. What do I do? Stand firm and do not resist? Or we can start slaughtering them. It's going to create a lot of chaos. I'm not going to have them assist me right now. Stand firm and do not resist. The crowd presses forward harder and harder. My breath is growing short. My bones are crunching. Somebody is screaming in my face. I endure the stench. Okay. I guess I lose myself in the dance of blood. Oh, we have these two. I'm not really sure what maybe there isn't like a right way to do this. It's very weird. Kibellah's thoughts, like playing as her, she is difficult to read. Very alien mind. This doesn't seem, neither of these two seem like her, so I think this is what it's going to be. I can bear it no longer. The blades in my hands sing, and blood streaks across astonished faces. I am done speaking and exhorting. I merely dance on the thread I have spun. I bestow death and blessed wounds. I catch a glimpse of Rapier's cloven face and Furnace's open belly. Rot's severed hand falls at my feet, and its owner flees howling. I dance and breathe so freely. Okay. Well, that was a massacre. It did not go the way I had planned. The smell of blood lingers in the air like the stench of impending defeat. Two bodies are sprawled before me. I have severed their threads. The third blasphemer has managed to escape, but his disembodied hand also lies on the floor, useless meat. What can these corpses reveal to me? Very little. The faint traces of vile mutations that twisted their bodies, the foul stench of corruption emanating from their meat, the deformed, strangely colored brains in their crushed skulls that spawned the heresy of sedition. Yeah. These are like gene stealer cultists. There's Rot's hand. What will the appearance of the survivors tell me? They huddle into corners, ashamed of their own subservience. They tried to convince themselves that the blood they so foolishly spilt would absolve them, but they know it is not enough. Our flaming voice and steel mistress still alive. Their threads have not yet been cut. I realize with astonishment that they are standing close to me, flaming voices furiously reproaching all those who had only recently joined the revolt, while Steel Mistress booms like a siren, shaking her maul in threatening punishment. They are useless to the hunt now. It is time for the next step. A thrill runs through the strands of my consciousness. Is this Domin Cyrene? Can I truly feel her again, or am I imagining it? I need to concentrate. I gaze at the puddles of blood and the patterns they form. I see a labyrinth. The Undying One has given me a sign. My hand finds the sealed case in which his tarot cards reside. It is time for a divination in the blood of the dead. It will reveal to me the name of their unholy master. Let's draw the beginning of the spread. The Hound. I gaze at the card and its depiction of the Astra Militarum armored vehicle, Hellhound, that bears the formidable name. The pursuit of truth, sacrifice, and victory. This is me, and I am on the right track. Let's draw the heart of the spread. The Harlequin inverted, lies, manipulation, a shadow play blocking my path. But it is a lie exposed, a deception that must be revealed. And the end of the spread. The Preacher, a man who carries an idea and proclaims it. But who is it? Nemesite? One of his supporters? Someone already slain or someone still alive? The divination is unclear.
And so I draw a fourth card. It is dangerous to ask more of the Undying One, but I must know. The Aquila. His holy image watches me from within the card, and my heart grows rigid with the knowledge of what it represents.
So hold on. The Hound, that's her. She's faced with lies and deception from the heart of the spread, from the Harlequin inverted. And then it shows the Preacher and the Aquila watching. So showing the Preacher, that kind of makes me think like Adalbert. Is he not who he seems to be?
The Undying One has manifested his omen in the traitor's blood. The hunt that has begun will be completed by the unveiling of a great deception. The enemy is elusive because he has a powerful ally, one who espouses faith in the Emperor on this vessel. The ship's confessor is in league with Nemesite. He will be the next prey.
So I was gonna say, like, because they had help from the inside. There were priests with them. So it's certainly possible that it could be him, but now the tarot is also seemingly implicating him. It could not be, but yeah. Interesting. All right, well, we are back on the bridge with Cyrene. Okay. No, we're in our own quarters with Cyrene. Right, because we were dropped off here. So what do we do? I think what we do is we end the episode, actually. And then check out what's going to happen in the next one. I reckon we need to have a chat with our confessor. See if he is indeed the insider for Nemesite, or if he is Nemesite himself. Either way, that'll be interesting. So, drop this video a like if you've enjoyed it. And if you're interested, check out my recently started Path of Exile 2 Let's Play. It is a lore playthrough, much like everything else I do on this channel. So it's not just playing the ARPG for the sake of playing the game. It's got very cool lore. The Path of Exile world from the first game was very underrated, super insidious, grimdark, awesome stuff. Check it out. All right, guys. Drop it a like. I'll catch you in the next one. Heritor out, and the Emperor protects.